All right, guys, this video I'm doing here is how to expose a screen. When I recorded this video, the audio was pretty bad. I think I had a fan blowing into the mic, so it was a lot. You know, it's really distorted, so I'm just going to go ahead and overdub it here. Right here, what I'm showing you is, you know, the process of exposing a screen if you're, you know, a beginner screen printing. So the first thing you do is you're going to invert your image. You're going to flip it upside down on the flat side of the screen. What I'm doing here is I'm measuring it. I got my guides here. The top of the image, you want it at about 4 inches, depending on, you know, the placement of your palette. And right here, what this is going to be my guides, just to make sure that everything is lined up. So back to the screen, I usually measure it at 3 inches from the guide, because when I'm doing the artwork, I know that it's going to measure, the actual image itself is going to measure at 4 inches. So when I load the t-shirt on there, I know, like, right at the seam of the neckline, that's where I want to have the end of the palette. So, you know, I don't have too many variations of placement of the print. So from here, I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I'm trying to move the camera. But anyway, as you can see, my exposure unit's right there. I'm gonna expose this for 120 seconds with 2 minutes, which it exposes fairly quickly. It's a homemade unit that I have here. I have another video if you want to check that out on how I made that. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a piece of cardboard. It's just a regular, you know, piece of cardboard in there. That's a palette that I had that kind of warped, that I would use for smaller t-shirt images, and then I have my weight that goes on top of it. The reason you want to put your cardboard is because you want your screen like smashed up right against the piece of glass, so you get a nice crisp, tight lines. If you don't do that, what you're gonna notice when you go to expose, you know, your lines, the edges, they're gonna come out real blurry, and that's just something you don't want. You can tell the difference between a you know, a good screen printer and a mediocre screen printer just by that. Because I mean, you really, if you want to skip this step, you can, but I mean, but why? You know, because you want your customers coming back. You want them to say, okay, you did a really good job. So right here, like I said, you put that little piece in between there, and then you put your palette and you put your weight on top, and you're gonna see right here, you know, the lines. You get a real nice crisp lines. Okay, so right here we're almost at 1:20, and as you can see, the little what is it, that little shelf I have in the bottom, I bought that for $10 on clearance at what was it, I think it was Lowe's or Home Depot, one of those. I try not to pay, you know, full price for anything that I'm doing, you know, if it's like a DIY or anything like that, because, you know, I just try to save money. You know, you really don't even need to pay full price. That thing, I think it was, I don't know, 60-70 bucks, and you know, you can see that little reduced tag on it, and you know, it works fairly well, because in the bottom I have like I have some rhinestones and some different templates and stuff like that I have in there. I don't really do rhinestones too much these days, but you know, they're there if, you know, somebody wants to place an order or something like that. So we're at our 1:20 seconds, and put this into my my little washout booth here. In this washout booth, same thing. I made that you know, a little DIY project, and this is a great way to do it, guys. If you're not really too sure, you know, if you want to go all in, if you want to invest into screen printing, you know, don't pay $500-600 for a washout unit. Don't pay, you know, $400 or $500 for an exposure unit. I mean, you make your own, you know, if you decide to hang it up, I mean, you can sell, sell what you have, uh, and not to take too much of a loss, or you can just have it there and say, okay, well, I only spent so much. It didn't really cost me too much. I didn't take too much of a loss at it. If you decide you just want to hang it up and go to something else. But that's kind of what I did here, and I just kind of picked up. And right here, I'm showing you that I got to put the little earmuffs on, because it gets really loud when you're trying to expose. So putting those on, turning all the water on, and right here I don't have I'm in the garage, so I don't have plumbing. So what I have to do is I have buckets under, where the plumbing would go. So what I do is I have a little, makeshift filter that I have in my backyard. So I gotta throw the buckets and take them to my backyard. So right here, I try not to waste a lot of water, nor do you need to, even if you do have plumbing. So I just kind of wet it up a little bit. You don't really need, if you have a good exposure unit, you don't need a lot of pressure. I've seen guys do it with the pressure washer, and I would not recommend that, especially like with halftones and stuff like that. All you want to do really is just keep the screen wet. As long as you keep it wet and your image doesn't dry out, you'll be good. See right there, I have it on the light mist, so I'm just keeping it wet right there. Try not to waste too much water. And you're gonna see, I know you can't really see it here because it's not too detailed, but you're gonna notice the image is ready when the lighter orange kind of pops out. It's gonna kind of emboss. When that embosses, you're gonna see, okay, well, now it's ready to give it, a harder jet. And I don't even really hit it with the jet. I hit it with it's like a fan spray. If you have to hit it with the jet, it's not ready to expose. So right there, I just try to keep it wet as I can, and give it a few minutes, if that, and then come back with your spray and get that all exposed. And like I said, you shouldn't really have to waste a lot of water doing that. So I'm just giving it some time here. Screen's getting kind of blurry. There it goes. Okay, give a little bit of the jet here. It's not all ready yet. So again, guys, minute 20 seconds. I've seen these other exposure units where it's like a overhanging halogen light, and then you put your screen at the bottom, and it's crazy. And I wouldn't recommend that. Hobby, or if you're trying to get into it full time or make some real money doing it, it's just I tried that when I started screen printing, way back, 10, 12 years ago, and it's just a lot of trial and error is what it's going to be. But what I noticed is I was wasting a lot of time, because I'd do that, and then I'd go to try to expose, and just everything would either wash out everything, the whole image, nothing would come out correctly, or it wouldn't expose. But look at that, look at how clean that is. And I didn't even have to give it a lot of water. As you can see, it's pretty clear there. I just noticed a little red spot, a little spot on the R. So right there, see that? Yeah. Okay, clean that up. Okay, so yeah, so like I said, yeah, if you're using a different unit, and then I've even seen some of these units that you buy for $300-400 that it says expose them for 6 minutes. I just don't have that time to be exposing, waiting 6 minutes to expose one screen. So a minute 20 seconds, it exposes perfectly. And I want to mention, I use the Ulano orange emulsion. That's like the best emulsion. I've been through them all. I've used the QTZ, FX88, what is it, QX1. There's one called Chrome. There's one called Silver, I believe, Platinum. I've been through them all, and this orange, Ulano orange emulsion, that's the best one. It's already pre-mixed. You don't have to mix anything. You don't have to wait. You just open it and you're ready to go. And that's pretty much the video, guys. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.